Hello and welcome back to What's Cooking. I'm Wetumene Shikari, leading you throughout today's episode. Now, once again, we are at Kitchen 82 here with Food Lovers Market, our food sponsor, as well as Coca-Cola for our beverages. Now, if you're not excited for what's going to go down today, we'll be cooking in the kitchen with one of our special guests, diving a little bit into the corporate world as well as mental health. Now, inside is Kavi, who will be joining me to make one special meal. But before I get into it, stay tuned for one after this.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouth-watering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Now, as promised, I'm back in the kitchen. I'm about to get busy, but we are here to make a special dish with one of my special guests for today. That is Kavi. How are you doing?
I'm well, how are you?
Thank you so much for joining me at Kitchen 82. I'm well.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Nice. Okay, so Kavi, what exactly are we making today? You asked me to bring some of these fresh produce from our food sponsor, Food Lovers Market, who made sure just to give us that.
The best, yeah.
So tell us what you're making.
I'm a very simple guy. I love simplicity and that extends to food as well. So today we're making a simple steak and mash dish.
Okay.
And yeah, it's just that simple.
Ingredients that we have lined up here.
Obviously you've got your steak. We're going with a simple rump steak, and then you've got your potatoes for the mash. Those are your two main ingredients. I love a buttery mash. And then you've got the cream that goes into the mash, and then we're making a mushroom sauce to put it all together. So yeah, that's
nice. I'm very curious because mushroom sauce, I'm seeing bacon, I'm seeing cream. So all these ingredients coming together to make one good meal is what I'm looking forward to. But stay tuned for all of that after this one.
Welkom jullie, mijn naam is Brian Munango en ik is jullie aanbieder voor Gooi Kolen. Dit donderdagse sportstrip noemen. Einde van hierdie programma zal ik en hoe om Prins te praten. Je m'appelle? Chebe?
Le Jean.
Daar rit je me ko.
Is dit nou onderbroek?
Blijf geschakeld. We zien jullie weer vrijdag volgende week.
Gooi kool!
Gooi kool.
Great stuff. Now we're back again. I'm still in the kitchen with Kavi. The stove is on, it's sizzling. We're waiting for the water to boil. Now tell us exactly why we have the potatoes, a fork, a knife right next to you.
The knife is complementary. So basically to help your potatoes quick, soften quicker.
Yes.
But not become watery on the inside. You do what they sort of call it scoring, or just a bit on the surface.
Okay.
Just to poke that, and that helps the potatoes cook a bit faster.
So you don't poke them all the way through?
No. Just on the surface. And because remember, your potatoes, the outside is made of cellulose, and cellulose is a tough. It's part of the peel. So it's tough. Breaking it a bit helps it cook faster.
Nice.
So that's why we do that.
So we can also give this trick to our aunties that make the potato salad.
You can.
Just to make the process a bit easier and quicker.
They usually do it overnight. So yeah, and you just go in there.
Okay. Are we going to season them while they're in the pot?
I prefer to add a little bit of salt. That means when you go, when you add the rest of the seasoning, you're not inclined to add a lot of salt because they come out with a bit of salt. And then salt in itself as well aids in the cooking process. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you also asked me to open up the mushrooms
so
here.
you've got mushrooms. Okay, not the ones I usually use, like
Yes,
you said.
these are oyster mushrooms.
Oyster mushrooms, I usually use the white button mushrooms, but hey, we improvise.
Yes.
So I want you to slice those up as thinly as possible, not
Okay.
too thin, but as thin as possible as you can get them.
Okay, can I have a waste bowl? The one that's
Okay, let's grab your waste bowl. There you go.
I just put some stuff in here, so. Okay, so let me just slice it and you see how well you want me to do that. Like that?
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. So tell me a bit about your time in the kitchen and when did it start? How did you discover your love for cooking?
Yeah, so basically when growing up, my dad did a lot of traveling with work.
Yeah,
So I spent a lot of time with mom and my sisters.
yeah.
And yeah, so I spent a lot of time in the kitchen.
Of course, you're with the girls.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think that's one evening I just decided I was going to do something solo.
Yeah.
I was going to cook something by myself. I've always been interested in sort of playing around with things in the kitchen,
Yeah.
combining things that, I remember this one time I made a pasta dish, and instead of putting in normal sauce, I put in salad dressing.
Salad dressing in the pasta sauce.
Yeah.
In the pasta.
In the pasta.
Okay.
And it worked.
How did that taste like?
It was decent. It worked. So yeah, so I just started playing around with food,
Yeah.
and then I think when I got to uni, I started watching a lot of the Cooking Network channels and food channels and so
Yes.
on. So I'm naturally one of those people. I watch and I can pull it off.
You just need to see it being done and you
Yeah.
can do it.
Then
Nice.
the other thing everybody keeps on asking me for recipes and so on is that I don't do recipes.
So you
I
don't
like-
measure when you cook, you
No,
just
I don't.
see and taste when it's enough.
It comes with passion.
Okay.
You know, yeah. So cook from the heart, I always say so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you say is your favorite thing to cook?
Hey, I'm as herero as they get. I will always cook beef.
Okay.
I will always cook meat. I know we do. So, for example, we do a lot of traveling with the guys or to functions and stuff like that. And wherever we show up, we know for a fact on a Friday night,
Yeah.
it is steak.
Okay.
We will put steak on the grill. So, I think I will always go steak. Yeah, I love to make a good potjie, but more often than not, my go-to meal will always be steak. I love me a good steak.
I think that's as herero and Namibian as it gets
As
because
it
we
can
all
get,
love
yeah.
our steak.
No, facts.
We all love our meat as well.
And as a country, I think we're blessed with some of the best meat in the world,
Yes,
if not
definitely.
the best. I've been to South Africa a few times, and I've been to Botswana as well. And yeah, the meats are not the strongest, you know.
Yes.
So I think in Africa we have some of the best organic meats.
I love
you'll
that.
ever find.
I love that. So then we can enjoy it even better.
Not for a fact.
Okay, so what are you doing now?
It's just adding a little bit of salt to this.
Okay.
Like I said, it helps with the cooking process and just gives a bit of flavor. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so moving on to maybe your career, what exactly do you do and how did you get into that?
Above being a very simple guy, I'm very versatile. Like, I studied science
Oh, okay.
in a way because it was all about medicine and getting into this. So I studied science.
Yeah.
I have 3 different degrees in science, similar field, but
Oh, wow.
3 different degrees, and
Okay.
then but I couldn't get a job in science.
Did you study here in Namibia? Where did you study?
I studied at UNAM, but I couldn't get a job in science, so I ended up at a staff outsourcing company, and yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm a branch manager.
I definitely want to get into your career, but tell us more. What is your current job that you do?
Yeah, I'm the branch manager for APIS in the Windhoek branch, Africa Personnel Services. So yeah, our biggest, our core function is staff outsourcing, and then we've got a recruitment division, and then a few other subdivisions that we're looking into, obviously. But yeah,
Nice.
our core function is basically staff outsourcing, which they then call the operations department, which I manage for the Windhoek region, sort of, not just Windhoek alone. So we do from Windhoek, we do Gobabas and surrounding areas, Mariental and surrounding areas.
Nice.
and then
Like I
Okahandja.
said, it sounds very interesting, but I want to get
Yeah.
into that later on
Yes,
while we eat.
definitely.
For now, let's go on to a quick break and we'll be back again. Welcome back. I'm still here in the kitchen with Kavi. It's great. The pots are sizzling, the stove is on, everything is giving what it's supposed to give. But now, run us through a little bit of what we just saw. We saw you were busy with the pans, with the bacon. What did we just do with that?
So we've got our potatoes still boiling.
Yes.
We've basically seared off the fat on the bacon. We've used that to make our mushroom sauce. That's waiting on the side. And now, considering that somebody wants dead steak,
It's well done.
well done steak.
Yes.
We're just gonna start with that and
Okay.
then get it going. You don't want it too hot because then it burns the surface. It burns quickly on the outside and then it remains raw on the inside.
True.
So yeah.
Okay, so we also seasoned.
We also seasoned the steak definitely.
With?
Simple salt and black pepper. For me, it maintains the meat's flavor profile. You know, so you don't out flavor the meat itself with too much salt, pepper,
Nice.
natural, organic.
That's the word.
Yes.
Anyways, the pan is going
It's
on.
hot.
There's a-
Yeah, so be careful.
Okay.
So
Put some oil.
you put some oil in. Now, because we've heated the pan already, you just want to be careful that it doesn't spill over. There we go. Nice and hot. Gonna get that nice. hot as possible.
What heat are we on now?
We are on 6.
Okay.
It goes up to 9, and then you just gently get in there. You just grab a spatula in here.
Nice.
So, like I always say, you want to turn it as much as possible because you don't want it to cook unevenly. So,
It already looks beautiful.
see, that's what I told you. Like, there are people that literally do that.
It looks like that on the outside, but I'm still not convinced that I should have my steak just because it's cooked on the outside.
Yeah.
I want it well done.
Okay. So you've already got in with your oil. Now just to add a bit of that, you know, people complain I do a lot of butter, but just to give it a bit of that creamy texture.
I love
or creamy,
butter too,
Creamy
so-
taste, we go in.
Go on with it.
A healthy dose of butter. You also don't want it to, and the butter helps that it doesn't stick to the pan that much.
Ah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
there you go. You know, in this era of non-stick pans, nobody really cares about whether it
Sticking
sticks
to the pan or
sticking
not.
to the pan or not, yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, and then you just let that go. You turn it as much as possible so it doesn't darken the one side
Yeah.
and it cooks evenly from both sides.
Okay, so while we wait for the steak to kind of sizzle and while we turn it still, there's one more thing that is quite interesting about you and that you can tell our viewers about. That is all about mental health and being an advocate for that.
Yes.
How did you navigate your way to it? What triggered all of that?
I think essentially, I battled mental health myself.
Yeah.
Extensively so, and I realized, you know, it goes back from way back to my childhood and so on. But then I remember the stats for 2021.
Yeah.
2020, 2022 came out, and it was a big thing on social media on, you know, how men are committing suicide at a high rate.
Yes.
Like 85% of suicide cases in the country were reported to be male. And
Crazy.
I remember the stats for 2021.
Yeah.
2020, 2022 came out, and it was a big thing on social media on, you know, how men are committing suicide at a high rate.
Yes.
Like 85% of suicide cases in the country were reported to be male. And
Crazy.
a cousin of mine asked on her social media, she posted this post and she was like, men, what is it? What can we do to help?
Yeah.
You know, men need to start talking. So, and I was like, okay, so this is a genuine Christian. This is someone that's being genuine, that wants to know how they can actually help us as men.
Yes.
So I took it upon myself to start informing
Men.
people, men, women alike.
Okay.
And I think the biggest issue is that creating platforms for men to talk about their mental health issues. Therapy is not a big option for men because a lot of them feel like it's a weakness.
Yeah.
So if we can create platforms as normal human beings, not professional therapists and so on, where we can just talk about these things and then lead men to therapy is basically one of the things that I thought about. And then,
Nice.
yeah, one thing led to another. I started a live podcast on Wednesdays with a cousin of mine. And next thing I'm getting invited to talk publicly and stuff like that. So
Yes, we're
Yeah.
actually at a summit
Summit,
where
yes.
I met Kavi, and he was speaking about mental health, and then later on he mentioned that he's a chef. So I was about to say, you know, that's the perfect guest for What's Cooking.
Yeah.
So about mental health and the podcast or the platform that you engage and speak about these topics, where can people reach you to speak about these issues, or how do you offer any services for people that are interested as well?
Yeah, so right now we are live on Instagram every Wednesday. It's
Yeah.
about to change going into next year. We're going to do it about every second week
Yeah.
with my cousin Jay. He sits in Scotland, so we do a live session on every Wednesday at 8:30.
Nice.
And then I do daily motivations from Monday to Friday. And then yeah, for now I think you can just reach me on my Instagram. It's Junior16K or at Junior16K, and I can share my details there, and then we can take it from there. I do
Nice.
offer. I don't like to call them counseling sessions
Okay.
because I'm not really a professional counselor.
Okay.
And yes, I'm not a professional. I haven't studied psychology or anything like that, or any kind of therapy. It's just
Yeah.
it's easier to teach from something that I've been through, something that I've dealt with, and something that I'm going through. So at the end of the day, I'm not a professional, but I do offer what I call consultation. So I can sit and talk you through some of the stuff based on experience. And obviously there's a lot of reading that I do, a lot of other podcasts that I watch as well, just gain knowledge and information. So
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
so while you guys go look up Kavi's Instagram, we're going to finish my steak, my well done steak, and we'll be back after this.
yeah.
Welkom jullie, mijn naam is Brian Munango en ik is jullie aanbieder voor Gooi Kolen. Dit meest donderdagse sportstrip noem. Einde van hierdie programma zal ik en hoe om Prins te praten. Je m'appelle? Je bent?
Le jour.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Finally, at my favorite part of the show, Kavi, can you tell?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, the smile is bright
Yes,
and
definitely.
white. So
I want to get to taste the amazing food that we just made here in the kitchen. But before we get into it, tell me about how you discovered this meal, specifically this one. How did you know that mash should have bacon in it, or cream, or, you know, all of that?
look, also having studied science, you do a lot of experimenting. So yeah, I just thought, you know what, it works well together. The creaminess of the mash,
Yeah.
a bit of the saltiness and the texture
Yeah.
from the bacon, and the smokiness of the bacon into the mash. It adds a beautiful flavor.
I must say I've tasted already, so I know how it tastes like. But anyways, we do also have some good cold cokes next to us.
Yeah.
Let's cheers to that. A good time in the
Cheers.
kitchen.
A good time in the kitchen always.
Let's hear how this sounds. Oh wow. Okay.
Amazing.
I love it. I love it.
Refreshing.
Coke definitely does bring people together, and I love to say it does complement us here in the kitchen, here at Kitchen 82. Now,
So-
like I said, my favorite part of the show.
How it all comes.
I want to dig in.
How it all comes together. Bon appetit.
Thank you. I want to dig in. Have a good piece of steak. That's perfect.
Definitely works.
The sauce is doing something.
Yeah, it's like I said, I'm a very actually I've got a sweet tooth. But then having to combine that with savouriness, that sweet sour combination works very well.
Okay. So like I mentioned earlier, I really want to get to know more about your profession, your career, and exactly what you do at APS. Maybe you can run us through what are some of your tasks as in the role that you...
Yeah, so it's basically managing the relationship between employee, so our employees and our clients, and then our clients and ourselves is what we do. Yeah, it's complex. Working with people has always been complex. So it's a very complex situation, a complex job. It can be stressful. You know, people don't show up for work. A client wants relations. So it's like being caught in the triangle, and you're in the middle. You've got the company, your management, and then you've got the client and the employee. So and you've got to try and keep all three parties happy. So it's challenging, but also at the same time rewarding. You know, you change people's lives, and that for me has been the most rewarding part of the job, is that when you see people that come back and say, you know what, the job that you gave me seemed simple at the time, but it really saved my life. So,
Nice.
yeah.
I love that you spoke about the challenges and some of the accomplishments that also come with the job. But what is some of the career motivation that you can give to the youth that would like to be in that specific career field?
I think, look, we're sitting in a situation, we're in a country where jobs are quite scarce.
Yes.
I remember I was sitting, and this is not meal appropriate, but I was sitting with an honors degree working a engineering job, a construction job at the wastewater works. And literally with an honors degree, I had to use a shovel to shovel out crap out of the bioreactors. So, and so I always tell people, start where you are. You can't climb the corporate ladder and you don't start at the bottom. You don't finish university and become a CEO. This is not America, you know. So I think just start where you are. Start at the bottom. Work your way up. Work hard. Be honest. I don't even know how I ended up in the field, but I'm here now. And if it's something, it's pretty much business management. And whatever experience you can get, whatever leadership role, because I believe wherever you are in life, you are a leader to someone, some way, somehow. So just live your life and start where you are. I think the most important one for me is start where you are.
Thank you so much for that great insight. Coming from one that is already in a leadership position and that has started from the bottom themselves, I think it's quite motivational. But to conclude this final interview or this show, I think for our viewers that would like to get in touch with you, maybe to speak more about what you do, or to speak about mental health, or even to learn about the cooking skills that you have, where can they reach you and how?
Yeah, so I think the easiest one is my Instagram handle. It's at Junior16K Facebook. I mean on Instagram. On Facebook it's Kavi Junior, Kavi Kairiwa. If you find Kavi Junior, you'll find it there. And yeah, I think those are the most easiest platforms. Maybe at some point then, if we do get to talking, I'll share my number with you. But yeah, for now I think Instagram is the one I frequent the most. So at Junior16K on Instagram.
Great stuff. I'm sure you guys can search that up and see the QR code right here and get in touch with Kavi. But that's all that we have for you guys today. Please stay tuned for another episode next time.
Cheers.
definitely an amazing time here in the kitchen with Kavi. Thank you so much for joining us today on What's Cooking here at Kitchen 82. Once again, thank you so much to Food Lovers Market as well as Coca-Cola for sponsoring today's episode, as well as Kavi for joining us in the kitchen. The food was phenomenal. The steak was great. I loved every part of it. But that's all that we had for you guys this week. I hope you're excited to see the next meal that we'll be preparing with the next person that we will be speaking to and chatting to about their profession. Stay tuned for another episode next week.